You don't need $400,000 to buy a real great loop tugboat. Right now, there are capable diesel tugs sitting on the market for under $120,000. From brands great loop veterans trust the most. We checked today's listings and found 5. And the boat at number 1? It might be the smartest great loop buy on the entire market right now. Stick around, because number 3 has a name loopers practically whisper with respect. Let's start with a boat that looks like nothing special at first glance, until you see what's already been done to her. Number 5. 1989 Trans-Pacific Marine Eagle Pilothouse, $79,500, 32 feet, LaConner, Washington. This is a boat you could buy today, provision tomorrow, and start the loop next week. Under the hood, a Ford Lehman diesel, legendary among trawler owners because it simply refuses to quit. Parts everywhere. Every diesel mechanic on the coast knows it, and she sips fuel, 8 knots on about 1.5 gallons an hour. That's the number that lets you stop doing fuel math every time you throttle up. The previous owners already spent the money, so you don't have to. Solar panels, Starlink, a brand new diesel furnace, even a sailing dinghy on davits, all included. That's thousands saved before you ever leave the dock. Below deck, high-gloss teak, a real separate head and shower, a galley built for full meals, and a V-berth with an actual door. The kind of privacy retired couples ask for by name when they're planning months aboard. She's heavier and more traditional than some tugs on this list, so she won't spin on a dime without leaning on that stern thruster. But if you're picturing yourself easing into a slip in Charleston or watching the sun go down in the Bahamas with zero maintenance list hanging over your head, this is about as close to turnkey as it gets, and that's solid. But the next boat has already survived something almost no one expects at this price. An entire winter aboard, tested in real life. Number 4, 2008 Ranger 2510 Bay Ranger, $59,500, Bellingham, Washington. Picture this. Instead of shoveling snow every winter, you're untying the lines and heading south. This boat already knows how to do exactly that. The current owners didn't just own her, they lived on her. Trailered to California, spent a full winter aboard, brought her back home. That's not a boat that looks good in photos. That's a boat proven by real people, in real conditions. She runs a Yanmar diesel with just over 2,600 hours, light for her age, so you're not walking into an overhaul. And here's the detail that matters most. Bow and stern thrusters. That means solo docking. The thing a lot of retired couples worry about more than almost anything else becomes almost stress-free. Under $60,000. That's less than plenty of pickup trucks on the road right now, and she comes with solar already wired in, a diesel cooktop and cabin heater combo, and her own custom trailer with electric brakes, opening up trailering options most buyers never even consider. One honest note, she runs a composting head instead of a holding tank. For some loopers, that's a dream, no hunting for pump-out stations. For others, it takes getting used to. Either way, a full winter aboard with zero complaints says a lot. If you're liking these finds so far, hit like and subscribe now. Boat Hunter posts real available listings before they're gone. Now, the next name on this list is one great loop veterans practically whisper with respect. Once you see what she offers, you'll get why. Number 3, 1982 Nordic Tug 26, $84,900, Red Wing, Minnesota. If you've spent any time in the loop community, you already know. A boat wearing the Nordic Tug name carries a reputation most builders spend decades trying to earn. These boats were built from day one to be small, seaworthy, and genuinely capable of racking up real miles without draining your fuel budget. Her Lehman Peugeot diesel makes just 61 horsepower, and that's exactly the point. This isn't built for speed. It's built for steady, efficient cruising, waking up in a new anchorage every few days without watching the gauge nervously. Step inside. Teak joinery, a real V-berth with an actual double bed, a separate enclosed head with a shower. This is a boat meant to be lived in, not just weekended on. Picture a slow month down the Tombigbee, coffee in hand at the helm every morning, with a boat this dialed in doing the heavy lifting. She does carry more hours than others here, around 3,400, So a survey is money well spent. But that's exactly why she's priced where she is. For buyers who want the Nordic Tug badge and real Liveaboard comfort without Nordic Tug 32 money, that's a trade worth making. Up next, a boat with barely any engine hours at all, practically new by comparison, and she might be the smartest buy on this entire list. Number 2, 2008 Ranger Tug R25, $89,900. Dennis, Texas. Here's a number that should stop you in your tracks. 700 hours on her Yanmar diesel. For a 2008 boat, that's astonishingly light, and it tells you everything about how carefully she's been cared for. A brand new Ranger Tug this size can run several $100,000 today. Finding one this well-maintained under $90,000? That's rare. Bow thruster, full Garmin electronics package, reverse cycle heat and air, comfortable chasing warm weather south or riding out a cool snap up north. At 25 feet, she's the most compact boat on this list, so Liveaboard leans minimalist. But for a couple who wants to do the entire loop without the cost and complexity of a bigger boat, low hours on a trusted diesel buys serious peace of mind. You're not budgeting for a big engine job anytime soon, and that alone is worth paying attention to. As strong as this Ranger is, the next boat is the one we've been building toward the entire video. A full Pilothouse cruiser that might be the single best great loop tug on the market under 6 figures. Number 1, 1999 Nordic Tug 32, $115,000, Burlington, Vermont. This is where it ends, and honestly, it's hard not to save the best for last. Picture months aboard without ever feeling cramped, 2 separate AC zones, a full galley with propane stove and oven, a real shower stall, and a 200-gallon fuel tank that buys you days between fill-ups without a second thought. Her Cummins diesel puts out 220 horsepower, and here's the detail worth knowing. This is actually the second engine, swapped in early at just 500 hours. Meaning almost the entire life of this boat has been run on the engine powering her today. She cruises comfortably at 7 knots, or pushes to 14 when you want to cover ground fast. Real flexibility depending on the day's plans. This is a true full-keel Pilothouse cruiser, the kind of stable, confidence-inspiring platform that turns rough water on the loop into a non-issue. At $115,000, she sits right at the edge of today's budget. But stack her against what a comparable boat, this much space, this much system redundancy, would cost brand new, and the value is obvious fast. For a retired couple planning to spend a full season, or a full year, living aboard and chasing warm water instead of cold winters, this is the boat that asks the fewest compromises of anyone on this list. So there it is, 5 real currently listed tugboats, all under $120,000, proving you don't need a fortune to take on America's great loop. The turnkey comfort of the Trans-Pacific Eagle, the proven toughness of the Ranger 2510, the classic pedigree of the Nordic Tug 26, the low hours efficiency of the Ranger Tug R25, and the full-featured comfort of the Nordic Tug 32. There's a real path into this lifestyle at almost every budget. Which one would you choose? Drop it in the comments. I read everyone. And if this saved you hours of scrolling listings, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We post real, affordable boats for sale every week. Thanks for watching, Boat Hunter. See you in the next one.